Okay, so we're the 5th of May, and hold on. I should put some, I don't know, Windex on this lens or something. It always looks like there's something there. Now I'm not wearing a shirt, so I have nothing to wipe it with. But yeah, I guess we're around 9 o'clock, after 9. I have a phone call at 10:30 by the person, one of the people in charge of the group therapy, whatever you want to call it, because she's not a therapist per se. Oh, here's her shirt. But my attempt at screening people to come into the Take Back Your Life group isn't that good right now. It's not. I set up a video in questions, and I don't know if people are answering it. I mean, there's a whole bunch of people. Like I said, there was like 53 people who requested to join, who were invited in by one of the members before I put those questions up. So I don't know. And I started sending it to people, but they don't even see the message. So it's like, okay. There's an option on the app to do it automatically. If they answer the question, they're automatically entered in. But I don't know if that's what I want to do either. They don't want to. I don't know. I don't have a good indication if they're seeing the questions and not allowed to enter until they answer the questions. I should look that up. You know, I'm still lost on how to do it. So that's where I'm at with that. I like it they're not allowed to get in, and they gotta reminder that they have to answer that. Oh, my phone's ringing. They have that you get a reminder that you haven't answered the question, and you can't get in until you answer the question. But then again, it might not be important for people to answer. Like, I don't answer the question, but well, that's the thing. It's like, if they don't answer the question, they don't get in. That's supposed to be the situation. So I don't know. I have to find a good way to police the page, I don't know. But the whole point of this is reminding me of, it is running a business. You're running a page, you're running a business. Now, with these pages, I mean, I'm not taking this stuff off. But I could approve some of the new members, I guess. Find who approved the new members and see what they have to say if they post. I don't know, it's and I don't have anyone to talk to about it. And I can't really trust anyone. So it is like it's my own business again. If I keep putting more of the positive comment and all this stuff settles, it will go down in the pages, you know. I'm not the only one who has this issue. I'm trying to look for what happened to my I'm missing something. I'm really not awake. I mean, I know it was 2:30 when the last indicator came on this morning. I had an appointment at 10:30, the phone call, and the alarm was at 8, and I think I woke up a little bit before 8, but I'm trying to, where is, oh, it's here. Okay, it's in another container here. I want to go to Costco after this call. I did the minimum thing for Fiverr. I'm trying to postpone it a bit. And then I really want to get out and go to Costco. I don't have a bus pass. Buses are still free. Metros aren't. I'm trying to see if I might walk all the way to Costco. But if I do, my feet might hurt a lot. And I want to work out later. So I'm debating that. How to manage my day that way. And before the phone call, I want to be able to do some of the CPR. Not the Fiverr, I won't be able to get the Fiverr done, but that will be something I'll be doing this afternoon anyways. So I don't know. Really don't. But what I do know is I can't drop the business. Because of this. But I have to figure out somehow figure out how to get it to be the way I want it to be. People interact, and maybe it's just that I won't answer people. If I send them a personal message, it usually goes into their spam because we're not friends on Facebook, so they don't see it directly, and some people don't think to look into that. That's true. I'll give it a couple of days to make sure that new people who are trying to join see the questions and that they have to answer the questions. I have to see what the indicator is that they haven't answered the questions. I see on the list that it says people haven't answered the questions. But I put the questions on afterwards, I think, so I don't know. I keep looking at my hair because it feels good for what woken up hair. It's not flyaway. I didn't wash it, but I used hand lotion. I'm trying to use less heavy things that still give it make it feel the way I want to feel. Now, of course, well, because I keep adding more and more stuff, you know, so I want it to be, by the end of the day, not dry, but not limp either. Right now it's damp. It's not, it doesn't matter now because, well, it does matter now because, see, I'm blabbing, because it needs to be, this is an indicator as to what I need to do now. How the state of my hair is now is an indicator of what I need to do to it with whatever products I happen to have lying around. And the speed at which I want to do something. Because I don't want to spend all day preventing my hair from breaking. I just want to have a set routine with whatever products I have, be it where, I mean, the reason I do whatever products I have is because what if I'm in jail? What if I'm on this, like now with the quarantine, you know, that I can't get certain things. I have to have alternates. I've always thought like that, so alternatives, not alternates, that will make me happy and that will actually be okay for my hair, so it doesn't break off. That's the whole point, so it doesn't break off. You know. Right now I'm using a cheap Suave conditioner, which I wanted to use to wash my hair with, but I don't. So I want to use the product. So just smear the stuff on and wet my hair more so that my hair is, especially the ends, they dry out quickly. So I mean, it's a conundrum for me, trying to figure out what to do about everything, how to deal with people, who to trust. How to grow a business. Especially when it's based on people, i.e. the page, you know. But stick to my values. I mean, obviously, I'm not investing any money in it yet, so it's okay. But not everyone's gonna like everything. You know, because people say it's all, you have to, the client is first or whatever, I don't know. There's a gym around here, Nautilus, who will get rid of people, like they have a certain policy that they stick to. A certain type of behavior. If you don't behave, and even if you've been there for 30 years, you'll be kicked out, and I saw that. Wow, this, wow. It's just smoothed out. And it's cheap conditioner. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's the addition of the, I think it's the addition of the hand lotion, and it just like, to be able to get my hair to the condition where I don't have to comb it, I'm just gliding through it and it just smoothed out. That's kind of what I'm trying to figure out in my life, in my hair. Hair is life, in the sense that trying to figure out is so difficult. Because there's things that are good, but then it has bad sides to it, you know? And when it's good wet, it's not going to dry like that, so that's why I put the a heavier, somewhat heavy pomade, so it doesn't end up getting hard when it dries. All those things, it's just like that's the way I am. I need to know what to do, what products I can put together in many situations. Because I'm not always going to have, like, a certain product you're not going to have because they're not ubiquitous. You know, Vaseline is ubiquitous, so if I'm ever in a pinch or in jail or whatever, Vaseline is more accessible, or even any oil. You know, they keep the hair long while you're... I don't think a priority is keeping your hair long when you're on the street or in jail, but no, in jail, everyone grows their hair out. But it's just like, if you only have like 2 minutes in the... I think about these things. If you only have like 2 minutes to take a shower, you better do stuff outside the shower, because you won't have time to like wash and condition your hair properly and shower at the same time. So it's like, okay, what to do. And I like to make my routine like that, but then again, on the other hand, it's like, if I have access to all this, why am I depriving myself from it? Because they're ideal. So when I have ideal situations, like access to everything and time and whatever, not just put a little bit more. Everything's gliding through, so I'm inclined to not put as much product, which will give it more volume, especially at the ends here, this part here. But I am gliding it through. It's gliding very nicely. But it's hard to get it the same thing every day. Even if you use the same products, it's like you get a build-up, so you have to do something different. And I don't want to stick with a certain routine because, well, I have a certain routine in the sense that I wet my hair the night before and I fix it up in the morning. And then a few times during the day, I'll either put some oil on it or spray on it, like, depending on what it is. Like, that's the routine. It's, you know, just like you put lotion on when your hands are dry. But it's never cut and dry because you don't know if you have to see if it's dry. It's like you can't plan for that routine because it depends on what you've done. If your hair is too dry, if your hair is too limp. So those things I want to get better at, and that affects me in my life because then I get anxiety because it's like I don't know what to do. Some people just don't care. I do. Now, of course, if I'm wearing my hair up all the time, I don't care if it's limp. But if I get pimples on my head, I gotta wash it and make sure that doesn't happen. But if I'm washing all the time, it'll get dried out. Unless I'm putting all the oils and like really and it's time consuming. So it's like, so I do it to a point that I don't want to do it, then I stop and kind of like training, I guess. Not training now because I'm struggling to add that in while I'm doing everything else, and I've had to adapt to that, but it's all about the adaptation, still going where you want to go, have the main focus, but know to certain variables can change and you can adapt and not be anxious over it. Now, What's also difficult is that with my psychologist, which is on Fridays, I think he's trying to move me to 2 weeks again. I guess I'll have to accept that, you know. It's like sometimes it feels like he's not listening. It's all about my reaction, my answers. I'm going all over the place here. I don't even remember what I started at the beginning to say. Hey, this is weird. It started to get the bumpy here feeling. It's not gonna add some more oil to smooth it. This part of the upper part of my hair is really, there's a lot of bumps on the strands. And that's another thing I'm trying to figure out, because some of the hairs that have bumps on it, it's after maybe 6 inches. Let's say the hair is a foot, over a foot, for 6 inches. Are smooth and then bumps after. So it's like, okay, what did I do? Maybe I've done some. I gotta see another year from now to see if after 12 months or 12 inches or 8 inches that starts to be, it's still smooth. So it's trying to see if what I'm doing now affects me in the future in a positive way. That's the thing with hair, is that what you do, you don't see the fruits of your labors until a year or two. Sometimes. So that's why it's important to do something that is easily adaptable, easily replicable, and that you want to do. And in cases where I don't have time, that you can find a way to do it. The way I do it is like I have the minimum that I do, and then find other times during the day to do other to do the other parts. But on days like when I had my CPR and I knew I wasn't going to be touching my hair, I would wet it like I'm doing. I wouldn't necessarily need to smooth it like this to this precise amount, like where I'm obsessing about this amount here on the top part of my head, which is like all bumpy. So I really concentrate on it to smooth it, and a combination of product and water to really get it as smooth as I can with the quality of hair that is not optimal. So I'm protecting it basically. But I'll put on the basic products and a lot of heavier pomade or grease or whatever you want to call it, and then I'll be good for the day. I can do that, I just don't like to do that every day because I like to go through it and be thorough, and it gives me peace of mind and also just allows me to inspect on the daily. But then sometimes if I'm too into it, I'm like, okay, I gotta cut this, I gotta cut it. Whereas technically, and I've done this for my nape hairs now, which I went over 3 months without cutting, and then I cut it because I figured I need to cut it because it's going to get all scraggly. But I didn't feel the compulsion to cut it. I did because it was a good rule of thumb to not go a year without cutting it. So with the hair, my hair that I'm more exposed to, because I see it, I get the compulsion to cut it because it's not as healthy as I want it to be. It's not as blunt as I want it to be, like some parts are tapering, Okay, so this isn't working like I want to. So I gotta know when to stop. and just tie the hair up. Because sometimes it just doesn't conform the way I want to. I don't think it's going to break, it's just not the ideal texture. I guess it's similar to people who have colored or relaxed or permed hair and they don't cut it off, but they just maintain it as it grows. Trimming it when eventually, trimming it off eventually. So that's kind of the situation I'm in with that upper texture. So I'm just buying time here. Just trying to relax as I do this to my hair. And I'll have to put on sunscreen and slowly get up. This is my morning wake up spa time, I guess you want to call it. So this is a really long video. Whoever watches this video, more power to you. Me just blabbing to a camera. It's become more and more of me just talking, getting used to talking. So I'm gonna leave it at that.